Happy Monday, guys. I hope you guys have had a great first day of your work week. This is Motivational Mishy Monday. For those who do not know, this is a time in which I'm able to encourage and motivate you through this video, through different topics and other things. And so we're on episode 6 today of season 2, and we're going to talk about being confident in your own skills. And this topic was brought to you by Edna, who actually follows me on Instagram, and that's how we met. We haven't met in person yet, but hopefully one day. And I think she's been following me for about a year and a half. So thank you so much for your support, and thank you for giving me a topic to talk about. So to talk about how to be confident in your own skills, I think the first thing we should discuss is what causes a lack of confidence in your own skills. And so I'm going to name a few things that causes that lack of confidence and then counteract those things with some encouragement. So let's get started. So the first thing I think that causes a lack of confidence is a huge one: comparison. We see other people doing what we love to do. We see them doing it well, and then we compare it to ourselves, and we're like, man, like I'm not doing it as well as she is, or you know, I don't look as good doing it like he does, and different things. And they may be doing it in a different way than what we thought, and they've got great ideas, and they're, you know, progressing in them and doing well. And so we're like, wow, like, you know, I don't think I have anything left to contribute to that part of this skill set. So for me, for example, for writing, sometimes I can look at other poets and be like, wow, like they talk about such great topics and different things. Like, how can I as a poet contribute to all the never-ending poets that there are? But as you can see, like, there's room for everyone. There's a lot of poets out there. There isn't just like 10 of them and then it's like, okay, poets are closed, like nobody else can be a poet. Like, no, like there's room for all of us. A huge counteraction to this, a big sister of mine, not in blood but in spirit, she gave me some encouragement when I admitted at one point that I was comparing myself to other people and to how they were writing and stuff. And I'll read you what she texted me. She said, "Can't nobody do Mishy like Mishy can. You are an original. Your craft is just as worthy as anyone else's. God will lead you. Fall in love with your gift." And so I pass that on to you, that nobody can do you like you do you. Even though you guys might be doing the same thing, like writing wise, or maybe it's music, or maybe it's art, even though you're using the same medium, it doesn't mean that they can do it just as well as you can, and that you can do it as well as they can. So don't compare. You guys are completely different people with completely different backgrounds, you know, stories, how you got to where you are, how you got to that skill set, how you discovered it and started using it. And so don't compare. 2, the second cause of a lack of confidence is not being where you think you should be in your skills. And this kind of tags along with comparison. I get to feel like this with my poetry often, because I'm not doing right now, at least currently, I'm not doing a lot of shows right now. I'm not really networking with people. I'm networking with a couple people. I'm working on like my own project right now. I'm working on a lot of building my brand and doing things that I had been doing in the past, but like haven't really been doing lately because of different switches in focus. And so I'm really right now trying to build my brand, but sometimes it gets discouraging because I look at other people and I'm like, wow, they're progressing in like performance and all this other stuff. So again, it's kind of another route in comparison. But to counteract that, you really have to just embrace your own process. Other people are in different areas just because they're focused and they're succeeding in one area of their skill set. Maybe they're lacking in another one that you are not lacking in. So you just want to embrace your own process and work through your own process and love your own process. You don't want to, you know, again, compare yourself to someone else's skills and progress. And so be confident in the fact that your process is your process, and the progress that you're making is where you need to be. So yeah, that's number 2. Number 3, something that causes us a lack in confidence is negative feedback. Nobody wants to be told that they suck. Nobody wants to be told that they didn't like something that they did. Maybe you've just been blatantly told all those things, and maybe someone just discouraged you and said, you know what, you really just aren't good at this. And so this can really hit us hard, obviously, because we're like, but this is what we love to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life to make a living, etc. And so this can also be really, really hard when it's someone close to you, when it's like a friend or a family member, and it hits home really hard because you want them to be the people that, you know, understand you and who want to support you. Okay, here's a disclaimer with this though, because there's a difference between constructive criticism and negative feedback. And we want to make sure that we understand the difference, because constructive criticism is someone telling you things that you can improve on, or maybe, you know, you just aren't as strong in, and then, you know, they're like, well, this is kind of your weakness in this area, but like, maybe we could do this to help, you know, work with that, or you could focus more on this instead of this, because this is your weakness here. So constructive criticism, it has a positive background. It wants you to move forward and wants you to really focus on what you can do to improve. Whereas negative feedback is simply just not to help you at all. It's just, it simply tears you down. It doesn't give you space to improve. It's just like, like you might as well just go ahead and give up because you suck. So that's the difference between constructive criticism and negative feedback. So just want to make sure we get that clear. So when it comes to negative feedback, when that hits us and it discourages us and it causes a lack of confidence in what we love to do, when it's from someone you don't know, it's kind of, sometimes it can be easy. Sometimes it's still like, man, someone that I don't know doesn't like what I do. Like, that's discouraging. It can still be discouraging, but it may be a little easier to let it go because it's like, oh, okay, it's just one person, two people, whatever, however many people opinion of what I'm doing. So it could maybe kind of roll off our shoulder a little easily when it's someone we love and someone like a friend or a family member that we're close to that's like just giving us negative feedback. You know, the same thing applies if it's, you know, if they meant to give you that negative feedback of like, they just didn't like what you're doing, whatever. You might just, if this is what you feel like the Lord's calling you to do and they're giving you negative feedback, you may just need to let it roll off your shoulder and be like, they don't understand, you know, God has confirmed this for me, like, you know, just let it roll off. And sometimes you might have to have a conversation with that person when you're close like that with them, and just be like, hey, like, this really hurt my feelings. Like, what did you mean? Did you mean to give me some constructive criticism? Because that's not what it sounded like. Sometimes you just need to have a conversation about it. So if that needs to take place, then so be it. And maybe they'll clear up what they were trying to say, and, you know, you can move forward from that. So a bonus with this, though, is, as I was talking about, you know, God confirming your skill set. That's the biggest thing. I want you to know that confirmation isn't a huge, I mean, it can be a huge, you know, sign or like a huge event that occurs in your life. But confirmation can be so small. Like, I feel like there are little things that happen, you know, each day, not every day, but every once in a while that just confirmed to me, okay, Mish, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you know, because there are times where we're like, that's another thing that causes a lack of confidence. Is like, are we doing what we were supposed to do? And God, you know, if you're a believer and you believe in God, he will show that to you, and he will lead you and guide you as long as you stay close to him and in his presence. He will allow you to see that, yes, like what you're doing and what you're working on is in fact what he's called you to do. And so look for those confirmations, keep your eyes open, and also most importantly, stay in his word, stay in his will, and he will confirm those things for you. So yeah, guys, I hope that was able to, you know, encourage you in some way. If you're feeling a lack of confidence in what you're doing, just know that, you know, to keep going forward, to keep pushing, you got to keep going. And so I love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week. And if there's anything that you need from me, you know, hopefully I can encourage you. And if there's any topic you want me to discuss, please let me know in the comments below. I've got a lot of other videos to do, so I'm excited to do those. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week.